live from Columbus, Ohio, from the Mid-America Restaurant Expo. Hello everyone and welcome to the 2019 United States Pizza Team Acrobatic Trials. I'm Daniel Lee Perea, along with my broadcast partner, the 2016 Freestyle World Champion, Jamie Culleton. Today, a little history is being made. For the first time, we're broadcasting on ESPN3, courtesy of our partners at Go Live Sportscast. Today we're going to have 4 different event categories: the largest dough stretch, fastest pie making, fastest box folding, and the main event, the freestyle acrobatics. We will be right back to all the excitement after these messages.
The 2019 US Pizza Team Acrobatic Trials are brought to you by PMQ, the pizza industry's business magazine, the Mid-America Restaurant Expo, sponsored by Galbani, Italy's #1 cheese brand since 1883, Ferrarel, Gordon Food Service, Graincraft, Lenova, Molini Spiadoro, Paradise, Real California Milk, Bag Solutions, Burkett Restaurant Equipment and Supplies, Lil Sun Pizza Peels, MFG Tray, Presto Foods, and Univax.
Well, Jamie, how excited are you about today's events?
Oh, this is great, Daniel. I mean, to get the opportunity to be broadcast here on ESPN for these pizza acrobatics and pizza events, this is going to be amazing. I'm excited.
All right, let's run down the rules of the largest dough stretch. Contestants have 5 minutes to hand stretch or toss one 18-ounce dough to maximum size. The dough cannot be torn. Holes can be repaired within the 5-minute limit. The dough must be round or oval. No other shape will be accepted. The competitor is not allowed to kneel on any part of the dough while stretching it. 2 measurements are averaged: the widest diameter of the dough plus a perpendicular measurement of the widest diameter. We have our first competitor up here. What is the technique to doing this well, Jamie?
The key to this is really making sure you work that edge of the crust first. If you start stretching out that middle too early, you're going to miss the opportunity for those extra few inches at the end. So as you can see here, Nathan Wilson, he's working that edge really, really well right now, and you can see he's got it leaning off of the table there, if you saw, and that gravity actually helps pull it. So he's going to probably work that edge here for probably the first minute or two, and then start really stretching that sucker. You're going to see it here in just a minute.
Now, when you do this competition, how well does the dough keep its temperature while you're waiting? For example, is the guy who goes early getting colder dough and has an advantage or a disadvantage over a guy who goes later, or is it pretty consistent?
Well, it's normally pretty consistent, but quite frankly, the colder the dough is, the more you are at a disadvantage. You want it to be nice and warmed up. You want it to be able to stretch nice and easy. You can see here, this dough looks really good. It looks like he's getting a pretty good size out of there. If you notice, how he's throwing it in the air, it's really expanding well. And you can see how he's making kind of a mess there with the flour. That's part of the fun. He's getting this thing big, Daniel. He's getting it big.
I gotta say, he's pretty big, pretty early here.
Yeah, he sure is. Yeah, he's got to be careful because he's still got 3.5 minutes left. And if you're going that big that early, you do run the risk of having some holes in there. But so far, so good. Looks like he's doing a great job so far.
Well, for many viewers, this may be their first time hearing about the United States Pizza Team. So here's a quick history lesson. It was started in the year 2000 by PMQ Pizza Magazine. It sponsors regional and national competitions to field an annual team of culinary and athletic pizzaioli representing the American pizza industry at international competitions. Their mission is to create learning opportunities for team members to be shared in the pages of PMQ Pizza Magazine, and also to help their own businesses and gain new skills. Really, it's all about the camaraderie, though, isn't it, Jamie?
Yeah, it sure is. I can't tell you how valuable it's been for me in my career. I mean, I started competing, gosh, it must have been 15 years ago, something like that. But the people I've met through this business, through PMQ Magazine, through the US Pizza Team, through all these competitions, some really great people, that I've really grown up with almost at this point. And now what's really exciting is seeing these young guys like Nathan Wilson up here and seeing what they can do. You see here he's got it stretched, and he's stretching it right across his chest. That's a really great technique there I've seen before. You see how he's working that edge right there? See that? He's finding the thicker spots, and he's trying to get those things to stretch out just a little bit. That's a great technique there. That's really nice.
Now it should be mentioned that should he have a dramatic drastic tear, essentially there's no way to fix that. And when that happens, you're basically out.
Well, yeah, you can attempt to fix it depending on the size of it. If it's too big, you're probably out of luck. You know, not only do you lose some time fixing it, but obviously as you try to pinch the dough together, you're going to lose some size as well on that. So you do have to be really careful. He's really doing a great job here. He's really doing a great job of getting that evenly stretched out. Yeah, he's doing a great job. We'll see how big this sucker gets. He's still got what? He's still got a minute and a half, a little less than a minute and a half.
Now, once you get to 10 seconds left, if I'm correct on that, you've got 10 seconds to work its way to the floor, and then you stretch for a period of time after that?
I believe it's the last 30 seconds, Daniel. I have to check on that, what the rules are this year. But once you get on the floor, you do have a very short amount of time to make sure that you get it out as far as you can on that floor. You see that wood board there on the floor? That's where they're going to go down there, and they're going to be able to put it on the floor. You see, Dave Summers here is telling him to get on the floor as quickly as he can before his time runs out. And now he's going to get that air out of there. See how he's going to release that air, and he's going to try to pull it as much as he can out there. See, he's fixing that little tiny hole. Wasn't much when I didn't even see it. So here we go. 5 more seconds. He's got to get it out. See, he's trying to get it all the way out as far as he can. And there's his time. There it is. That's a good stretch. That's a good stretch.
The crowd liking what they see here.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great first competitor. And you can see we've already got the next competitor halfway through his stretch here too. They're measuring Nathan's dough right now, and again they're going to take the longest side and then perpendicular to that, and we'll see what his measurement comes out to. But it looked like a pretty good stretch to me, Daniel.
There you see Matt Hickey, our next competitor. He's already getting started while the measurements are going on Nathan Wilson's dough.
Yep. See, he's doing the same thing. He's really working that edge first. Like I said, that's key because you will lose a lot of size if you don't work that edge in the beginning. So he knows what he's doing too.
Now our clock on the screen for the viewers is an unofficial clock. We'll get the full correct times and keep you updated as they come in.
Yeah, I believe that he's probably been doing this at least a minute now or two. I think I saw him stretching into this, so we'll have to check with the judges on how far, but I'm sure they're keeping track of it. So I'll tell you, Daniel, this is really a lot of fun for me to come and watch these new guys up and coming doing this. I know back when I first started, there's a lot of nerves going on in your body right now, in your brain, in your head. You know, you come from your pizzeria and you want to compete against the world, and now you're up on that stage and your nerves are really, really pumping right now.
So on your screen is Matt Hickey. He's been working with dough for about 12 years. Hopefully that 12 years of experience will come into play here.
Oh, and I'm sure it will. I mean, you're not just going to jump out here and beat anybody if you don't know what you're doing with dough. It definitely makes sense to come out here and compete if you've been doing it for 12 years. Anybody that's been in the business making pizza for 12 years has got a good feel for dough. So we'll see, but I think it looks like he's doing a great job. That looks like it's getting pretty big. Probably going to, oh, he just got a little hole in it. Oh boy, he's going to probably try to fix that here. He's going to fix that here. And then the struggle on this is trying to continue to stretch it with that hole being patched like that. They tend to open right back up. It's really, this might not be good. We'll see if he's able to recover.
Have you ever seen somebody recover from a large tear?
Oh yeah, I definitely have. I can't recall one where they actually won it, but there's definitely a way to recover from this. But the challenge is you can't stretch it like you want to, because then it'll pop right back open. So what I always like to do is I just kept stretching and stretching and stretching, and then I'd fix that hole at the end. Because you'll fix it and then see how it's popped back open again. You'll fix it, it'll pop back open. You're kind of wasting time. You just want to keep stretching around or not touch that hole, and then when you get it down to the floor, patch it up at the end. That was always my technique.
Well, this is not Matt Hickey's first rodeo. He actually won the prize, the first place prize, at a different competition in Las Vegas in 2017.
Yeah, he's a 2017 world champion in Las Vegas. That's a big competition. So obviously he knows what he's doing, probably knows better than I do. So, but that's pretty big accomplishment. Unfortunately he's got this hole, but it still looks like it's a big dough, and I think he's going to have a pretty good size as long as he gets that all patched up. Looks like he also won. He won in Napix in 2000, or won the bronze medal for the largest stretch in Napix 2017 also. So this guy is the real deal.
You got 7 seconds left.
5. He's got to get that hole patched up. Well, I can't tell if that hole's patched up or not.
While they measure, I'll give you the official score of the first competitor, Nate Wilson. He came in with an average measurement of 30.25.
30.25, that's pretty big dough. Make a heck of a pizza. I think the judges are trying to discuss whether or not that's a disqualification or not. I think they're going to disqualify him for that hole. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
That's true. That happens. I know it's happened to me.
There on your screen you see Dave Whisker, our third competitor in the largest dough stretch. If you're just joining us, the rules in a nutshell are each competitor gets an 18-ounce dough ball and must stretch it as large as possible in a 5-minute time.
Now he's been in the business for a long time, since 1994. He knows what he's doing out here, so I would expect he's gonna really show his stuff here. He's been with BC Pizza since 1994. He's also he's won the fastest box folding and dough in 2014. So this guy's going to know what he's doing. I guarantee it.
I remember the 2014 competition because I remember him wearing that same blue shirt and hat.
Oh, I hope he's changed since then. Hope he's done laundry at least.
It's probably a different edition of the same thing.
I'm sure it is. Daniel. He's just representing, I assume he's representing his pizzeria. But he's doing a great job. You see this little wiggle? He's doing this little wiggle. That's another technique a lot of people use. He's just kind of wiggling and letting gravity do its work. Instead of muscling it around, he just kind of wiggles it. The dough kind of shimmies its way down, and he's doing a real good job. You can see how smooth and even that dough is getting stretched. He's got a real good technique here.
There on the left you see Dave Summers, the referee down on the floor. He has competed in this event in the past, and I've asked him, what do you do when you have a bad day with the dough? And he told me, the dough doesn't tell you what to do, you tell the dough what to do.
There you go. That's Dave Summers for you. Dave Summers, one of the best competitors of all time. He has won more medals than I think I can even count in all kinds of different categories. I know me and him went back and forth on the pizza box folding for probably 6, 7, 8 years in a row. He is a real strong competitor, and really one of the best in the business.
How translucent have you seen a dough get in this event?
Oh, you can get very translucent. I mean, when they've stretched it across their chest or something like that, you can read their T-shirts right through it. It's even beyond paper thin. These things get real thin, and it's actually interesting. If you give it a few seconds after they've finished, it turns almost hard. Like it's so thin that it just dries right out. That's how thin they're getting it. I mean, you can think of this competition as the largest stretch, or you can think of it as the thinnest stretch. I mean, it's really the same thing. It's really about getting it as thin as possible, and that's the tough part. I mean, it's so thin you put your hand through it very easily. So these guys who are used to muscling around dough all day, every day, smacking out pizzas all day, they've got to be gentle with these things. And that's definitely something different than what you're used to in the pizzeria, slamming out pizzas all day.
It looks like he's about to go to the floor.
Yep, that looks like a good dough. That's a big one. That's a big one. No holes so far. He's doing a great job. Yep, you see how thin that is? You can see right through it. That's great. That's a good sized dough. He's getting it all the way out. He's got to pull that little wrinkle out there on the top. There it is. There he goes. Look at that. Yep. There it is. That's
his time.
Nice and round. I mean, that's about as perfect as it gets right there. There's Pat Miller. Pat Miller has been competing for, I'd want to say, 14, 15 years. I grew up with this guy almost in competitions, and this guy knows what he's doing.
Comes a replay of him stretching out.
There it is. Yep, you see how he's getting that wrinkle right. See, that added another 1.5 inches, 2 inches right there. That's a sign. That's a sign of a guy who knows what he's doing.
That's a veteran move.
That is a veteran move. Here, back to Pat Miller. Nice and smooth. This guy is, one of the best acrobats in the world as well. I mean, this guy has competed at the World Championships in Italy multiple times, and I can only imagine what his drawer full of medals looks like. There's got to be a lot of them in there. This guy's a well-known competitor.
We will also see him later on in the acrobatic contest.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. He puts on a heck of a show. He's always got a great routine. So you guys wait and see that one. I'm sure he's going to blow you away.
It's been a number of years since I've seen him in the acrobatic competition.
It is.
I'm anxious to see the return of Pat Miller.
That's right. I think he stepped away for a couple years, and I was working on something. I was just talking to him earlier. He says he's got himself a mobile wood-fired truck he's doing now, and that's very cool. That's very exciting. But it's nice to see him back. It's nice to see him back. One of the veterans. That's a big part of this is being a veteran and showing these young kids that are coming up, how to do it, giving them some inspiration. You see here with Pat, Daniel, the difference with Pat, because he's so comfortable tossing the pizza dough. A lot of the other guys keep it in their hands or on the table. He's comfortable tossing, so he just keeps throwing that thing. It is dangerous because you could put your hand through it a lot easier, but he seems like he's real comfortable with it.
Now, he has to be careful. If it accidentally touches the ground, he must go to the ground right then and do the final stretch.
That's correct. Yeah, he's definitely taking some chances, but you know what? The audience loves this. This is really a lot more fun probably for people to watch when he's actually throwing it in the air. You see how thin that is? I mean, you can see his shirt right through that, and he's throwing that right up in the air. Look at how big that is.
That's going to make a great still photo.
Yeah, that is. That's one to hang on the wall probably, I imagine. Woo, look at that.
Amazing.
Oh, man. See how he just softly catches it? It even lays on his shoulder a little bit. That thing is almost hanging to the floor when he has full extension. Oh, man.
The suspense is killing me. I keep waiting for his arm to break right through.
Yeah, it's amazing that he can keep catching that, no holes. He really is taking a chance to continue to throw that. You can see his wristband through that dough. You see that?
I see that.
I mean, that's thin. I think that's the biggest one we've seen so far, Daniel.
Now, when it goes to the floor, it picks up a little bit. The floor is a little bit more cold than when you've been working with your hands and arms, and it does shrink down a little bit when it touches it and loses a little bit of its heat. Oh, there goes the spin technique.
There is some snapback to it. Anytime you're using dough, it's gonna snap back on you a little bit. That's why you'll notice. You see this right here? I don't know what we're calling this. We'll call this the wave technique. You see how he was starting to wave it back and forth again, just using gravity. But you'll see when it goes down to the floor, it's going to snap back, and it's going to look a little smaller than it does in his hands right here, because it's going to. See, he's going to the floor now.
He's going to the floor. In the background, you see David
totally normal. That's totally normal. See that? See, and he's pressing it on the floor. He knows what he's doing. He's done this before.
Another veteran move.
Look at how big that is. That has got to be the biggest dough we've seen. That's got to be the biggest dough we've seen. Take that wrinkle out, Pat. There you go. Get that wrinkle to come out. There you go. Perfect. Great job, Pat Miller. That's the biggest one we've seen. I'm sure of it. That was a great job. Look at this footage of him throwing that thing up.
It's truly a sight to behold.
It really is. Look at that. He's throwing that right up in the air, and he's catching it into no holes, not even a single tiny hole, nothing.
You saw Dave have to lean back to get out of the way there.
Yeah.
While he's keeping time.
It's a dangerous job out there. You never know. Here we go. They're measuring it. See how they're measuring it perpendicular? They take the longest point, and then they go directly perpendicular to that, and then they average those two.
Now, in the early days, there was basically a single measurement of the widest diameter, and problems ran into when you'd get a very oblong, very oval dough, right? And to make it a little more fair, avoid that as sort of a cheat code, they started adding the perpendicular measurement, an average of the two.
They've had to make a lot of rules over the years to make this a little more fair. I've seen people who step on it and then pull it up, try to pull it up with their, from their feet, or what they used to call the licking stick, where you would lick your fingers and you would get the dough a little bit wet and press it into the floor, and that would help it stick onto the floor. They've outlawed all those rules as of late, which is probably a good thing, because people would come in and use these techniques and really pull ahead of everybody else that is just doing it like normal. So.
All right, we've got the score in for our third competitor, David Whisker. He's in the number 2 spot with 26.82.
26.82, and then does Pat Miller's come through here too?
Pat Miller looks like he's sitting in number 1,
first place.
33.88.
That's what I thought. Yeah, when I saw that deal, I knew he was in first place there. That's the guy to beat right now.
And just to make it official, with the tear you saw earlier, Matt Hickey did in fact get DQ'd.
Yeah, I know. That is unfortunate to come all the way out here to compete and tear a hole in it, but that happens. It's happened to all of us. That is unfortunate. There's always next time, though. There's always next time.
No risk, no reward.
That's right. That's right.
If any competition had the phrase "go big or go home" applied to it, it would have to be this one.
I suppose so, yeah. The bigger the better on this one. And here's Damian Berkheimer, and he's doing a great job. He's just nice and easy. You see how he's playing with that dough. I will say it looks like that edge might be a little bit thicker than he probably wants it to be. So, like I said in the beginning, he's probably gonna lose a little bit of size on that.
How do you correct for that?
The only way you're going to correct for that is if he gets it right back on the table and works that edge again. But it's hard to go back and do it. You got to start that way. But he's still got a good stretch going, so we'll see how he does.
There's a number of different techniques that can be used to stretch the dough. I've probably seen them all.
Yeah, there is a lot of techniques, and you've already seen several of them here where you're tossing it or you're working on the table, or you're just slapping it back and forth like he's doing, windmills and fans, and I've seen a whole bunch of different techniques. And everybody has their own. Everybody has to use what they're most comfortable with. And he's been in the business. Looks like he's been in the business going on 4 years now, so he's relatively new. This is his second year competing, and he's a father of 2 boys. So good for him. I'm sure that his kids are proud of him. Hopefully they're watching at home, or maybe they're in school. I'm not sure, but looks like he likes to call himself a circus freak too. So we welcome those. We welcome those here in the pizza industry as well. There he goes. He's going down to the floor.
Here's the countdown.
Here he goes. You can see it's a good stretch, but you see how it's a little bit thick on the edge versus the middle. It's still a good stretch. Still a good job.
A very supportive crowd here today. We love to see that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing about the pizza industry. We support each other. Everybody's supporting everybody. There's really no reason to have any animosity. We're all here. We're all here to make our lives more fun and enjoyable. The daily grind of making pizzas. Although everybody loves to do it, it isn't easy work. It can be a little bit backbreaking. So these types of competitions where everybody gets together and has a little fun, it just makes life that much more enjoyable in the pizza industry. That's what I always loved about it.
Well, you see, Nicole, there's actually an entry error in the data. Her actual last name is Bergles.
Oh, okay. Bergles, I believe. She's been in the business 2 years.
Yes, I spoke to her earlier, and I believe she's engaged to a man whose last name is Gantz. So her last name may soon be Gantz.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe we're getting a preview here.
There you go. Yeah. And she looks like she's with Caliente Pizza and Draft House.
They brought a large team this year.
Did they? Yeah, that's always nice. I'll tell you, it's nice to see some of these companies that bring out a ton of people with them. Obviously gives them a better chance of taking home some medals, but also just giving back to your employees like that, man, I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world. Here she goes. She's doing a great job. See how she's knuckling that edge? She's just using her knuckles and just slowly stretching out that whole edge. The key to this competition is using your time wisely. Like I said in the beginning, if you stretch it out way too big in the first minute or so, you're going to be struggling not to pop holes in it. She's doing a good job of just using that clock and getting a good stretch all the way through it. See how it's nice and even all the way through? That's what you want to see. She's doing a real good job.
Well, I have an update for you on the scores. Damian Berkheimer's official score was 25.94, which puts him in third place.
Still a good stretch, but like I said, I think that edge was just a little bit too thick, and that if he had spent a little more time stretching that out, it probably would have put him up. A couple spots. But still a great stretch, Still a great stretch.
Dave Whisker is still holding on to the number 1 spot with his 26.82.
The number 1 spot.
Actually, that's not correct.
No, I think it's
Pat Miller.
Pat Miller. Yeah, Pat Miller.
My apologies. Pat Miller has a 33.88. That is the number to beat.
Well, I'll tell you what. You want to come in and take on some of these veterans in these competitions, you got to bring your A game. Pat Miller is going to do a great job every single time he competes. So if you want to beat him, you better be practicing. You better know what you're doing, because he's not gonna take it easy on you. I can guarantee you that. I competed with him for years and years and years. He never took it easy on me.
Well, Jamie, iron sharpens iron. If you really want to get better, you got to go up against the best.
That's absolutely true. There's no sense in competing against people who aren't the best of the best. If you want to be the best of the best, what did Ric Flair used to say? To be the best, you got to beat the best. So
that's right.
That's exactly what you got to do here. That's exactly what you got to do, and this is their opportunity to do it. That's why we love having these veterans out as well as the new people. I mean, they just add that extra drive for some of these guys to come out and do their best. All right, here we go. We're going out to the floor. That's a good stretch. That's a big dough. That's a big dough. She did a great job. I'd like to go back to that and see where we're at here.
There you see Roman Miller.
Yep. Getting started on his.
Speaking of new versus old, he's a relatively new competitor. Actually showed up at the competition a little bit late. I overheard that he got into some sort of car accident. Hopefully everything's all right there.
Well, he seems like he's okay. Yep, see, that's a good stretch there. That was good.
That's a great stretch.
Yep. Could have probably taken out a couple of those bubbles and got a little more size, but that was good. See that? Just see how nice and smooth and silky that is. She knows what she's doing. This is not her first rodeo, I guarantee you. Really a fantastic job.
Excellent technique.
Very good. Like I said, she could have pulled a couple of those little bubbles out at the end, but I think that score is going to be probably up there in the top 3, I would think.
Now we're back to Roman Miller. If he did indeed get into some sort of car accident, it clearly has not affected his ability to stretch the dough. He's making excellent progress here.
Yeah, he must be a tough guy if he was just in a car accident. I'll tell you what, that shows some dedication. That's what the pizza business is all about, man. Rain, sleet, or snow, or car accidents, you're still here. Trying to shoot for the best of the best here. And he's doing a good job. See how he's got his whole elbows? See how he sticks his whole arm, both arms in there? That's great. He's got a nice back and forth. Looks like a nice even dough. Okay, now, you see what he was just pinching right there? What he's doing is he's finding those little thick spots like we talked about earlier, Daniel. That's how you kind of go back and gain a few extra inches. You find those little thick spots on the edge that you may have missed, and you just stretch them out there. He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job understanding how to work that dough. Look at that thing. That's a big dough. He's doing a good job. That could be right up there. That may take Pat Miller's place here.
Well, we've got an official score for Nicole. She turned in a 26.13.
No, that's a good score. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than that, but that's a good score. Good job for her. That was nice.
Pat Miller still holds on to the lead for now.
He sure does. He's actually ahead by quite a bit, to be honest with you. Was it 3 inches? I mean, he's way ahead. So somebody's going to have to come in here and put on a heck of a show to take over that spot.
And Roman Miller could be that man.
He could be. This dough's looking really good. He looks real confident. He looks calm. He's nice and even.
He's showing great concentration. The cameras and crowd have not affected his nerves in the least.
You can actually look in his eyes and you can see him really spotting those individual areas that he needs to stretch. You can see the concentration. Yep. You see how he's just finding those little tiny thicker spots, and he's just going to work those. It doesn't seem like much, but honestly, in the end result, it makes all the difference in the world.
No, don't start the clock.
There's Tara Hatton.
She's getting ready to go on.
She's a new up-and-comer. She's also a freestyle acrobat. She's amazing. You can catch her online. She's got a lot of videos out there. I've been checking her out for the last, last year, I guess. I'm excited to see her acrobatic routine as well, and let's see what she's got on this largest dough.
I think we're in for a treat in this main event later on.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to see this. We've got some great competitors for the freestyle acrobatics. You've got Scott Volpe, who has just revolutionized how the acrobatics is being presented. He's like kind of got a b-boy style. You've got, like we said, you got Pat Miller. It's going to be an exciting freestyle. Here he goes. He's down on the floor. He's got a big bubble there. He's got to take that out. That's a big. I'm telling you, that's a big go. He's got a chance. He's got to get it all stretched out and utilize all of that time. Here back to Tara. You see how she's using her shoulder. You see this technique. This is a technique I've seen in the past.
Both these KG competitors trying to get on that podium.
There we go. There we go. That looks like that's pretty. That's got to be up there. I'm telling you. That's got to be up there. That's a great job. See that? See how he pulls those bubbles out of there? It lets the air out.
Fantastic.
Let's see if he flips that. Yep, see he flips that right there, flips that edge, puts an extra ½ inch right there.
Looking for every available millimeter.
Absolutely. This is really a game of millimeters.
Now we go back to the live feed, and here's Dave helping out on the measurement with Lenny Rago.
Lenny Rago, just a legend in his own right. Both these guys are extreme competitors. Oh, we're back to Tara. Looks like she might have a little hole in there, unfortunately. But she did a good job. That's a big one. Oh boy, that's a big one.
This may be difficult to recover from.
Yeah, you just got to do what you can do. You just got to try your best at that point. I'll tell you, sometimes the dough just tears on you, and it's just not your day. But you just got to focus and stay calm and do the best you can. It looked like it was a really good stretch too. See how she's just ignoring the hole? That's what I was saying earlier, Daniel. For me, I always just tried to ignore the hole, stretch out what I could, and then at the end just patch it up and hope for the best.
So is she using up time that she could be using on the overall stretch by repairing the hole early?
That's exactly right. You're losing time by going back and doing this where you could be working those thick spots, and that's, that's what you should be doing. But of course, here I'm sitting over here not competing, so it's easy for me to say.
Well, if you're just joining us and want to understand what we're looking at, the rules are pretty simple. Each competitor gets an 18-ounce dough ball and has 5 minutes to stretch it out to its maximum diameter, which will be measured and measured again perpendicular to the first measurement from the widest point. Whoever, at the end of the day, has the largest dough wins the gold medal.
That's right. That's about make it big. That's what they always say, Daniel. The rules of this competition are make it big. Tara's done a great job patching that hole up, and that's a big dough. So she did a really good job on that. I would definitely say just keep going and fix that sucker at the end. But she recovered well. She recovered well. Look at that smile on her face. She's enjoying herself. That's what it's all about.
Not nervous at all.
Doesn't seem like it. Nope. Seems like she's a pro.
Now utilizing the shake technique from earlier, we've seen from some of the other competitors.
Shimmy, shake. Yeah, that's right. See it? And that's
shimmy, shake. Are you going to trademark that?
Yeah, I'm going to trademark that, Daniel. Nobody else can use that. You see, it's really, that's about using gravity. You just wiggle it around, let gravity pull it, and it's actually easier on the dough than trying to manhandle it. So that's a good technique. See, now she's just doing a little pinch on the edge. See that? She's identified little thick spots, and she's just doing a little pinch on the edge.
A lot of laundry to be done after this competition. Flour tends to get everywhere, but that's all part of the fun.
Oh, we're definitely used to that in the pizza business. I can't tell you how many times I've found flour in my pocket, in my wallet, and everywhere else. So that's nothing they're not used to.
Now on your screen you see the next competitor, Max Mathias. She's also a member of the Caliente Pizza and Draft House.
Yep, another one of the Caliente people. That's fantastic. Looks like she knows what she's doing. She's got that edge, working it out.
Tara Hatton's gone to the floor now.
Look at that. That's a good size. Even with that hole, she did an incredible job recovering from that. That's just impressive. With a hole that size,
that's a win of its own.
Top 3 or 4 with a hole that size, that's amazing. Great job. Really fantastic. Fantastic job. What a recovery. That was great.
Now we're going to check in on the score for Roman Miller. You saw a moment ago Roman Miller finishing up with a score of 30.42 And that would put him in second place for now.
Yep, second place. See, I knew that was a good one. That was a great job doing that. 30.42. You know, sometimes, Daniel, people always ask, what's the world record for this? You know, what's the largest anyone's ever done? And the thing about dough, not just in this competition but any competition, is the dough always changes. It's not the same, because it's really just a living, breathing creature. So one person's 40-inch dough one year isn't the same as somebody's 33-inch the year before, because of the slight differences in the hydration of the dough, how long it's been sitting out, the temperature, all those kinds of things. So.
Does the climate affect the dough? The humidity level, the temperature?
Everything affects the dough. So when people want to know what the absolute world record for the largest dough is, there's really no way to track that year to year. So. But we're within those ranges of normal dough stretching. But you can't really compare one year to the next year, to really one batch of dough to the next batch of dough, to be honest with you. So all of these doughs are going to be made out of the same batch of dough. So it's fair competition.
Well, there on your screen you see Max Mathias. She's been making pizzas for 5 years. This is her first time competing at this competition. She's an assistant manager with the company, but has only been with the company for 4 months.
Well, that's pretty good. She worked her way up there, so that's a great job for her. Looks like she loves bacon, so can't blame her for that. I think we all love bacon. That's a great part of your profile. I could go share some bacon with her. I can get into that. Great big dough. Look at that. Looks like it's going all the way down to her knees there. Really fantastic.
She's doing quite well. Seems like she's ahead of the clock there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wish we had a clock running that I could see, but looks to me like way ahead of the game here. Way ahead of the game here. That's big. Got a tiny little hole. I wouldn't even worry about that.
Yeah, maybe a dime-sized hole there.
You could fix that at the end. Just keep pushing through, getting that thing stretched out. Oh yeah, that's big. That's good.
Dave looks impressed.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, Dave knows what he's talking about too, because this is one of Dave's best competitions. He's gone over to Italy and competed in this thing more times than I can count. He's won so many medals in this competition. It's almost embarrassing for the rest of us, but Dave Summers knows what he's looking for. He knows his stuff.
All right, Tara Hatton's official score came in and popped up on the screen there. Her score was 28.44.
28.44. That's a good stretch. I thought it was going to be a little bigger than that, honestly. But you got to keep in mind, with that hole that she had in there, to get 28.44, that's really good. That's really, really good. That's impressive.
Our final competitor is just now getting started there on the screen, Landon Butler.
Landon Butler, this is the last competitor. And we're going back here to Max. Max is about to go to the floor. Looks like a great stretch. Look at that thing. It's hanging all the way to the floor to begin with. That is big. That is big. That has got to be in the top 3. If not, that might even beat Pat right there. Look at the size of that.
Maybe fixing another little dime-sized hole.
No big deal. No big deal at all.
Looking for every last centimeter.
Yep, 8 seconds left. Got to utilize it. Look at that. That's going to be a big one. Perfect.
That's her
Great
time.
job. Great job. Fantastic.
And we go to the tape.
The old tape measure.
The tail of the tape.
Yep.
Let's see a replay now.
Look at that.
Wow, look at
That thing
that.
is huge. Almost hanging all the way to the floor.
It's practically bigger than her.
Yep. And I've seen that before. It stretches the entire length of the body. There we go. We're taking this real serious. That's a good. I'm telling you what, Pat Miller might want to.
He might be nervous right now.
He might be nervous because that's a big one.
He's still sitting on his 33.88. That is the number to beat. Now back to our final competitor, Landon Butler. He's got a good stretch going on.
He sure does.
Using a lot of the same techniques you've seen before.
Yep. See how he's just hanging it off the shoulder, letting gravity do its work. Using his full forearm in there. You can see his hands moving back and forth. He's just trying to pull out those thick spots as he's finding them. The key to dough stretching, or any of these competitions, is just feeling the dough, understanding the dough, knowing what it feels like, the thick, the thin, the uneven, all those things. He looks like he's got a good feel for it. He recovered. I thought he might have pumped a hole in there, but he did a good job recovering. Look at that. Look at that big slap. Look at the wave on that thing.
Now, I spoke to Landon earlier. This is his third competition.
Okay.
With other people from his same pizzeria competing, I asked, does it make it harder or easier to compete against people you're familiar with? He said familiar faces make it easier.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I know in my first couple go-arounds, it was definitely nerve-wracking to go into a room full of strangers and try to show them what you got. But if you know some people, you're a little more comfortable. Not only that, Daniel, you can also ask advice from people. That's the beautiful thing for some of these younger kids that are coming out here. I shouldn't call them kids. These younger people that are coming out here, they've got all these guys like Dave Summers, like Lenny, like myself, and a lot of these guys, Pat Miller. You can ask questions. You can pick their brains. The next generation is going to be better than the one before. I can tell you that much.
In fact, you're seeing that effect right now. The owner of his pizzeria, 600 downtown, Brittany Saxon, actually broke 2 world records.
Oh yeah, she's a beast. Absolutely, I've seen her compete before. She is really a strong competitor. So if that's your boss, you probably got an advantage on everybody just to start with, for sure.
Well, Landon credits her with teaching them the basics and giving them little tips along the way. Some of those things you pointed out of working the edge right at the end, pulling out every little last thing, looking for the thick spots. That all comes from that veteran knowledge of Brittany Saxton.
Absolutely. You know what? You can jump way ahead in these types of competitions if you know somebody or somebody who has experience doing it. I know for me, I did not. When I first started out, it was just me in my little house in Tucson, Arizona, just trying to figure it out. But I'll tell you what, you get a lot better once you find a buddy to spin with or a buddy to stretch with. And that's obviously what Landon's got an advantage on. You can see. I mean, he's look at this dough. I mean, he can see. You can almost read his shirt right through that thing.
All right. Well, we've got the score in for Max Mathias. She has a 29.75.
Oh man, see, I thought it was even bigger than that, but that's a great stretch. That's got to put her in third or fourth place. That was really a great job.
She's in fourth place currently. So at this point, the only person who can beat Pat Miller is this man right here, Landon Butler. The question is, will he do it?
He may just do it. He should have gone to the ground a little bit earlier. Oh, he should have gone a little earlier, but that's still big. See all those bubbles? He's losing space on there, but that was still a really good stretch. Had he gone to the ground a few seconds earlier,
just leaving money on the table.
I don't know though. That looks like it's pretty big. Can you read that? Can you read that from there?
Well, we'll wait for the official scores to make it official.
That looks like that's almost 36.
Who are you putting your money on?
That looks like that's 30. That looks like that might be the winner. That's a big one.
Is that your bet? You're putting your money on Landon?
Yeah, you want to bet $1? That might be it right there.
Maybe I'll bet you a pizza.
A bet a pizza? Okay, deal. I'm always up for betting a pizza. There's Dave showing off. Dave Summers showing off a little bit of his skills.
Dave is tossing the leftover dough to the crowd.
That was great. That was great. Largest stretch competition, guys. That wrapped it up. Let's see what that final score comes in at, and we'll know who the winner is. That was fantastic.
Go to a commercial.
Coming up next, we've got Fastest Pie Maker. But first, a word from our sponsors. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Cheese lovers in Italy have always known it. Now more and more Americans are discovering that. Shred after shred, dish after dish, day after delicious day. Shredding Galbani mozzarella yourself inspires meals and moments that are simply better. Galbani, Italy's favorite cheese brand. Now America's #1 block of mozzarella.
PMQ is the pizza industry's business magazine and is received by the 40,000 pizzeria owners that manage America's 77,000 pizzerias. PMQ is the leader in pizza-related web content, video, and social media. We are proud to have supported the world-traveling US Pizza Team for nearly 20 years as a culinary and acrobatic force in the $100 billion pizza industry.
We are back and ready for our next competition, the fastest pie making. But first, let's give you a rundown of how that last competition did. As it turned out, Landon Butler indeed beat Pat Miller with a score of 35.44.
I knew he was going to do it. You know, when you looked at that dough, it looked like a big one, even though he did have those bubbles in there.
So let's go over the rules for the fastest pie maker. Contestants will stretch each 10-ounce dough ball to make 5 10-inch doughs placed on screens.
Here we go. Yep. We've already gotten started on this. Guys, this competition is going to move quickly, okay? The idea is that he's going to take these 5 doughs, he's going to stretch them out as quickly as he can. The rule is that it's got to cover those screens you're seeing right there that he just stepped over. He's got to cover them completely. So if there's any of that screen showing, he's got to stretch it out all the way over. Also, any holes have got to be fixed. He just blew through those 2. Dave just pointed out one small hole on the first dough, but he's blowing through these. He's blowing through these. Look at this.
He's doing very well here.
He really is. He's gonna have to go back and fix a little bit, but he's moving so quickly that it may not even matter. Boom. That's his last dough. He's gonna go back and fix. He's got to fix that hole.
And the rules are you can have a hole, but it cannot be larger than the size of a dime.
Right. Which I don't have a dime on me. Typically, you just wanna. There it is. See, that was great. He just had that one he had to fix. That was fantastic.
He doesn't look too happy with his result.
Well, you know,
at the time,
sometimes people beat themselves up over this competition, and you never know how you're going to place until everybody else jumps in. I mean, you know, everybody's got to work with the same dough. It may be tight, it may be loose, it may break a little bit easier than you wanted it to, but the reality is everybody's using the same one, so everybody's going to face the same challenges. So don't beat yourself up until you know what the final scores are. I think you did a great job.
Well, the final score for Roman Miller is a time of 57.44 seconds.
57, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good time to beat. It's a real good time to beat. There we've got Michael Casanova. He's one of the top acrobats here on the US Pizza Team. This guy has just come a long way. He's amazing. He's actually going to be one of the judges today in the acrobatic competition. But he's somebody to keep your eye on too. We're back to Tara here.
She probably did not do as well as she wanted in the dough stretch. Let's see if she can get back on top in another competition here.
Doesn't look like she's playing around to me. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. You see how she double stacks it? There's a lot of different techniques on here. Some people do one at a time. Some stack all 5. Some stack 3 and 2.
We saw Roman Miller just stack all 5 and press them all down and go from there. She decided to do 2 different stacks.
She sure did, and she's moving quick too. I can't see how much of that screen is showing, but it looks to me like she's doing a pretty good job. She's going to have to go back and fix a little bit. But the speed she's moving.
The rules are that the dough must cover that little 10-inch screen. The screen cannot be showing.
Yep.
As fast as you can get them covered, your time is up and recorded as the official time. Dave is telling her to fix a couple things, cover the screen up a little bit there.
Oh, she can't just throw it down like that. She's got to be a little smoother there. There it is. Nice. Good job. I don't know if that unofficial time is going to be what it is, and they had the wrong name on there, but. That was a fast time. You imagine that working in your pizzeria, that's what you want. That's a Friday night, right? Quickly, that's for sure. That's how you learn that, is a Friday, Saturday nights, no doubt about it.
So the official time on Tara Hatton is 52 seconds.
52 seconds, oh man. Good luck beating that, everybody. That's going to be a tough one.
Right on the, even with those errors, right on the money at 52 seconds. It's going to be tough to beat.
You do the math on that, that's 10 seconds of dough, just a little bit over 10 seconds of dough. That's the kind of pizziola you want in your restaurant. That's for sure. She's a beast. She came to play today.
Now Max Mathias is an avid video gamer, so let's see if some of those hand fast control skills translate over to pizza techniques.
You can see how they set the dough up there, and that five dough, almost like playing cards would be. That's how they set it up, and then you can do whatever you want to from there.
Going for a stack of 2 at a time.
2 at a time here. I think we're going to want to see a little bit of a faster approach here. Okay, good. Well, that was good technique.
Well, slow and steady sometimes wins the race.
Slow and beautiful. Look at the dough. It's just beautiful. Not going to need to fix it. Stretched out perfect. I may be eating my words here.
Eating some words, eating some pizza.
Right. I'm hungry.
So if you're just joining us, we are in our fastest pie making event. Obviously, they're not making a full pie and baking for consumption. The goal is to simply stretch out each of those dough balls over a 10-inch screen. The dough must cover the edges of the screen and cannot have any holes larger than a dime. Whoever gets the fastest time of completing all 5 wins the title.
That's right, and this is a really fun competition. This is one that everybody wants to win, because this is the one you can bring home to your pizzeria, and you can brag about being the fastest. That's for sure.
There's the unofficial time on your screen. We're going to get the official time right about now.
That was a good showing. The best part about that was there wasn't a whole lot of going back and fixing.
All right, Max Mathias has an official time of 1 minute 6.5 seconds.
1 minute 6.5. I'd like to see Max come back out and try this again next time. Really great technique. Just needs to speed through it a little bit more. But I mean, the stretch was really nice.
So far, Tara Hatton holding on to the lead.
There's Dave Summers putting a little more flour on the table. That's our favorite thing here in the pizza business is flour. Playing with flour, making a mess.
Let's see if Landon Butler or James Cohen, either one, can beat that time of 52 seconds.
Yeah, that's the time to beat. Like I said, that's you're going to have to blow through this dough pretty quick to beat that. See, you go here
with an explosion of flour.
All 5, stretch them all down, and then stack them. See that?
Landon Butler going for all 5.
Yep, pressing them all out at the same time, and this technique can work really well, or it can mess you up, because sometimes when you press all those doughs down together, they stick. They stick together. You've got to make sure you have enough flour in between so they actually come apart. Looks like it's a good technique. Looks like a great technique.
Excellent technique. Covering up these screens very quickly here.
Wow.
Dave keeping a close eye on the action.
Blowing through this. Boom.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Now,
that is how you do that right there. That was absolutely fantastic.
If that unofficial score is anywhere close to the real score, then we've got a real competition on our hands. And it looks like 43.78 seconds, and he has taken the lead. Landon Butler is in the lead.
Fantastic. Landon just did a great job. What was that time again?
It was 43.78.
Holy smokes, 43.78. I'll tell you what, somebody's arm's going to fall off trying to beat that one.
Do we have insurance for that?
I don't know. I'm not sure, Daniel. We better check with somebody. Because to beat that time, you're going to have to be really moving. That was a really good showing.
You got to think, pizzeria managers who have busy Friday nights must be looking at these people wanting to hire them right now if they can put out pizzas this fast.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah, no kidding. This would be a great place to recruit some people, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they might get some job offers before the end of the day.
I'll tell you what, man, they should go home and ask for a raise as soon as they get there.
There you see Landon Butler on that overhead shot. He's going to work.
This is James Cohen.
I misspoke there.
James Cohen, yep. We got all 5 stacked. All 5 stacked. See how it stuck together there for a second? Not a big deal. He recovered nicely. He's got to get it a little bit bigger before he throws it back down. There we go. That's down. Oh, he dropped one on the floor. I've seen that before. That'll mess you up mentally, man. Got to keep your head together. You still got plenty of time.
It looks like it's gotten to his head now.
Yeah, it may have. I'll tell you what, this is a nerve-wracking event, a second here or there, one little slip up, and it throws you off your game, for sure.
Looks like if that unofficial time is close, then he might be out of the running here.
Yep, I think so.
It looks like he just kind of lost concentration.
Yeah, your nerves kind of can get to you sometimes, and it's just how it goes. It looks like James has been in the business here for 3 years. Also with Caliente, you can see these Caliente guys are really, guys and gals are really making a making some impact here. It's great to have this many competitors out here. You're got a better shot of winning some medals doing that, and you're telling them that you care about them. You're telling them that you care about what they do for you, and you're showing some support of them while they obviously support your business by working there. So looks like he's been with the company for about a year, and hey, his favorite pizza topping is pepperoni and sausage. Who can go wrong with that?
A lot of folks from Caliente here.
It sure is. Yeah, I wonder if we got an official count on how many Calientes there are. I don't know, but yeah, we appreciate them bringing out this many competitors. That's fantastic. Oh, there he goes. He's done. Oh, he walked away. He didn't look like he was too happy with that.
The body language tells the whole story.
Oh boy, that's all right. That's all right.
You got to think that coming out here and doing this competition with all of this for the first time, that's a good base that he can only improve from. He's got nowhere to go but up.
Absolutely. That's the way I always looked at it. It's always a learning experience. I don't know how many times he has competed, but you're only going to get better. I'll tell you what, if you go backwards, then you are doing something wrong. But if you can get better and better every competition, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
And it looks like we have an official score for James Cohen. He came in at 1 minute, 52 seconds, .69.
Yeah, that was, I think it just got to his head. Here's Nathan Wilson blowing through these. This is one of the best up-and-coming acrobats. Looking forward to his routine later, but look at him. He's pounding that dough out. He's doing a great job. See that flour just flying everywhere?
Going for the quintuple stack?
That's right. Stacking them all together. You guys got to get a shot of his pants. He's got the best pants on of the day. I think he wins the award for best pants today. That's for sure.
You'll get no argument from me.
That's right. He's got the pizza and flying kittens or something like that on his pants. Really fantastic. I'm glad he's showing that kind of spirit. That's great. Look at how fast he is. That slap. Do you see how he flips it out like that?
Good technique.
Yep, great technique. He's going to flip it and then flop it kind of back. Flip, flop. You'll see. Watch this. Flip, flop. See that? Perfect. See that coverage? He's not going to have to go back and fix that one.
Now you take a look at his arms, you see a definition there in his biceps and triceps. You got to think, this man has pounded out some pizzas.
That's right. He probably works out, and then it shows. That arm strength definitely builds up. Forearms, too, particularly get built up when you're stretching out dough. And boom, done. There you go.
The unofficial time says 1:05, so we've got to think that's pretty close.
It's probably pretty close. It seemed a little faster than that, but that was a great job. I mean, that's how that's done. You see those pants? Oh, man, those are some great pants. We got to get some more shots of those pants. Those are fantastic. Livening up the whole spirit here.
All right, it looks like we have an official time of 1 minute, 5 seconds, .63.
That's a good showing, I was always happy with anything right around a minute. And I'll tell you what, when you're making pizzas online, if you can get a guy to stretch out 5 pizzas in a minute, you're making money. I'll tell you that much.
So right now, Landon Butler is still in the lead with that 43.78. That is a number to beat.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a real tough one to beat. And that's, here we go. Blowing through this again.
Dave Whisker.
This is not his first rodeo at all.
Going for the quintuple stack?
Yep, he's stacking them all up and going for it.
Now, there's a difference in the dough temperature. When it's colder, I understand it's harder to do the quintuple stack, and you're better off not doing that, versus when the dough may be warmer.
Absolutely, yeah. When the dough is cold on this competition, it definitely makes it much, much, much harder. You want it to be, nice and relaxed. I don't want to say warm, but room temperature. It'll definitely give you a much better stretch when that happens.
In 2014, he won fastest box folding, so he definitely has some fast hands.
Yeah, for sure. The fastest box folding, that's a competition that's over before you even know it started. Oh, he's got a hole there. Oh, that's too bad. He's got a hole. That's going to throw him off. Fix it. See what Dave says. That's it. Time?
David Wester, BC.
Not bad, even with that hole. Good job, David. You see that
his time is coming in.
There's Ryan LaRose. Right, there's 3 of the best acrobats in the world right there talking. There's Ryan LaRose on the right-hand side. That guy has shown his stuff many times.
Look at that replay.
Yep, you can just see him. It almost looks like it's being played in fast forward. That's how fast he's going.
If that looked fast to you, it was fast. His official time, David Whisker, 58.35.
Hoo-wee. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing. Pat Miller's back up on deck here. you can expect to see a pretty fast stretch here, I guarantee it. He's asking for more flour, Daniel. The competitors are allowed to ask for more flour as much as they want, kind of how it's set up. There's going to be an explosion of flour. I can feel it. Boom.
So far, Landon Butler holding on to that lead. Let's see if Pat Miller has anything to say about it.
Looks like he's doing looks like a triple stack and leaving 2 is what I'm seeing. You see how you got a really good shot of that where he stretches them all out.
He's using a lot more spin than some of the others.
Well, Pat Miller's a spinner, man. He's one of the best spinners around. Really, he's been in the game a long time. See how little work he had to put into that last one?
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at that. He didn't even stretch that. It just went out because of that pre-stretch he did. He's running 36 seconds, 37. He's got 2 more doughs to put down.
The look of focus on his face. And we will also see him in the freestyle acrobatics later on today.
Absolutely, I'm excited to see that. I've always loved watching Pat's routines. He's put on some wonderful routines over the years. I competed with him for many years. Done.
He doesn't look too happy. Looks like he might be okay with that time.
No, I think if he would have taken those last 2 doughs and smashed those together, he would have had a little bit better time there because the first 3 were lightning fast. Here you see again Michael Casanova. You got Ryan LaRose up there and Dave Summers. 3 really the best pizziolos in the country. These guys are amazing at what they do.
You see some help from Michael Reyes Casanova.
That's right. Michael Reyes Casanova. He's expecting a little girl, I believe, in April. Just talked to his girlfriend. They're expecting a baby. Congratulations to him. He's a great guy. We met pretty recently, and he really is just a fantastic guy to have in the business, and he's done so much for the business in the last couple of years, and really bringing all these new guys up and coming. He's an awesome guy. Congratulations to him.
All right, we have Pat Miller's official time. It is 58.81 seconds.
That's not a bad time, but I think that still puts him in maybe 4th or 5th. Unfortunately, that's not going to get him there, but he did a great job.
If you're keeping score at home, then you know that Landon Butler is still in the lead with his 43.78. That's still the number to beat.
Damian Berkheimer's doing a great job here. He's got 2 down already. You can see he's got a good technique here. Got the flour flying. That's a good sign. That's 3. He might be overstretching them just a little bit. You see how they're almost bigger than they even need to be.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It can be a good thing if the dough's snapping back on you, but if you're stretching it too much, then you're just wasting more time than you need to.
Can you feel when you do this event whether it's better to overstretch? Can you feel the snapback when you're working the dough?
Absolutely. You'll know pretty much the second your hand hits that dough whether it's going to snap back on you or whether it's going to be relaxed and sit at the size that you stretch it to. So you'll know that ahead of time. Or not ahead of time, but as soon as you touch that dough, really. He did a good job, though. I wonder what his time comes in at. He did a good job.
Well, it looks like his time is going to come in at 1 minute, 9 seconds, .41.
Okay.
It's 109.41.
Not a bad time. All these times have been good times. I mean, if you really, look at the reality of it, if you're sitting in a pizzeria and people are slapping out 5 doughs in a minute, I mean, phew. You've got a good pizza maker there for sure.
All right, this is our last competitor, Nicole Berglis. If anyone will beat that time of 43.78 seconds, it will be her. Let's see if she can do it.
Here she goes. She's stacked. She's got the full stack there. She's going all the way for it. Go for it.
Putting body weight into it.
Yep, she sure did. Now she's got to blow through these.
Now she's wearing a ring on one of her hands. Does that slow you down, or does it have no effect?
I always took my jewelry off because sometimes I'll catch on the dough, and that'll rip the dough, and obviously we don't want to do that. So I was always very careful to take off any jewelry.
Doesn't look like it's slowing her down at all.
No, not at all. She's doing a good job. She's doing a great job.
How does one train for this event?
The training for this event is exactly what you think it is. You grab dough and you stretch it out as fast as you can. You race the guy next to you. You race, whoever you've got at the pizza shop, And that's the training for this event. You just go, 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 go. You've got to just learn how to stretch it as fast as you possibly can. Exactly what the competition is. If you watch guys like Dave Summers here, who's keeping time right now, he'll show you how to do it real fast too. I can tell you what, man, there'll be flour flying everywhere.
She's on her last piece of dough.
Yep, she is. It looks to me like she's not going to have the time. Looks to me like it's going to be landing with that time of 43.78.
And as she makes her final stretches to cover the edge of that screen, as per the rules, Dave gives her a few instructions. Got a smile on her face.
Yep, she had fun. You know what? That's what it's all about, guys. As long as she had a good time with it and had fun with it, that's what it's all about.
And that will make it official. Your winner is Landon Butler with a 43.78.
Yeah, he really blew through those doughs. That's hard to beat. The key to that competition is just go fast. The first competition is go big. The second competition is go fast. To simplify it to that is pretty much truth. That's all you need to know.
All right. Well, Nicole's official score is 1 minute 33.97 seconds. And with that, we're going to take a break and come back. All right, welcome back to our competition. It is the US Pizza Team Trials. Now, if you're just joining us, we are on our competition of fastest box folding. The rules, well, they should be pretty obvious. You take some boxes and you fold 5 boxes as fast as you can. Couldn't be more simple than that.
No, not really. This may seem like kind of a silly competition, but I'll tell you what, if you have a pizzeria, you need to have boxes and you need to have them folded quickly. You go through hundreds and hundreds of these things. So if you blink here, you're going to miss it. These boxes, I think when I was doing this, I was averaging about 3 seconds a box, something like that. You go through real quick. Dave Summers here on the right-hand side that's running the show. He has got to be one of the best of all time at pizza box folding. You watch this. It's going to be over before you know it.
Here he goes.
Boom. See that? He's just boom, boom, boom. If you guys ever try this at home, you're not going to be anywhere near as good as this. I see new people that come into pizzerias and it takes them 4 or 5 minutes just to figure out even how to fold the box.
I am one of those people. It takes me about 5 minutes to figure it out. Yes.
Okay. Well, for a certain wage, I could probably show you how to do it a little bit faster. But
and here he goes. Last one.
This is the last one. This is all really about dexterity in your fingers. 29 seconds. We'll see what the official time is, but that's pretty good.
Wow, that official time looks pretty good. It looks like David Whisker came in with a 27.87 seconds.
27.87. That's real good. That's real good. We'll see what the rest of these guys have to do. But like I was saying, this is all really about dexterity of your fingers. It's about kind of muscle memory to be able to blow through these things.
And here comes Nicole Berglas.
Here, you've got to go. You got to be moving really fast for this. She's kind of moving a little slower than you want to do if you want to actually compete in this competition. You have got to be going lightning fast in this. She's obviously doing a good job. She knows how to fold a pizza box, but when you're trying to win this, you got to be going lightning fast, really to the point of just before the point of messing it up and messing up your box. I mean, you've got to be like almost to that point to win this kind of competition.
And for a second ago, you saw the time to beat is 27.87. It looks like Nicole is not going to get that.
Nope, not at that pace. No offense to Nicole, but like I said, if you want to win this, you have got to be moving. You got to be moving on this. There's the official time, and you can see sometimes the competitors will flub it a little bit. They'll have a hard time closing that box. The box has to be closed up all the way. If it's open a little bit, or if it's crushed a little bit, then they'll make you fix it before it closes.
You can see she was having a little trouble there in the fine details in this replay.
Yep.
Held her up a little bit, just a little, like right there, a little fumble. Held her up and just knocked her out of the competition, really.
Yeah, 1 second mistake on this, and you're not going to win it. I know that from personal experience.
All right, here comes Max Mathias. Let's see what she has to say about it.
See this technique? It's a table technique. Where you do the initial folds on the table. Nice and calm. I like Max's demeanor, just nice and calm. Nice and calm the whole time. I mean, look at the box just folds itself almost. Look right here. Whoop, and it's done. That's fantastic. Oh no! Oh no! Had a little bit of a flub right there. That's going to cost some time, but still good recovery.
That could be the difference between a medal and no medal.
Get that thing folded and done.
And there you see the previous score of 55.10 seconds. It's not enough to beat the top score of 27.87. Let's see what Max came in at. We are waiting for the official score.
For any competitors out there that want some advice on this, I'll tell you what, you should look up Dave Summers. He can tell you everything you need to know about this competition. Anybody out there that wants to come and win or thinks that they can come and win a title on this one, get in touch with Dave Summers. He'll give you all the pointers in the world you need.
Mr. Cohen is back again. Let's see what he has to say about box folding.
Let's see this.
I spoke to him earlier, and he said that before he left the house, his mother gave him words of encouragement and told him simply, "You've got this. Just do what you always do."
Yep. Well, this technique he's got is not going to be fast enough, unfortunately. You've got to have the right technique to go through this. It's got to be smooth all the way through, from the second your fingers touch that box to the second that it's folded to completely. It's got to be one continuous movement. This is not going to be the time to beat. I mean,
it looks like he's trying to make no mistakes and worrying so much about that it's really just costing him speed.
Right, like I was saying earlier, Daniel, you've got to go to that speed of almost making a mistake. It's got to be so fast that you're almost going to mess up without messing up. It's kind of the gamble you take when you come and do this competition, is you've got to blow through it so quickly that sometimes you do mess up. But
you got to live on the edge.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is some dangerous stuff here. Some edge living. That's true, Daniel. You got that right.
And there you see the body language again. Just does not look too happy there.
But you know what? To come out here and do it. It takes a lot of nerve to come out here and do it. So a lot of props to him for coming out here and competing.
And he is not going to get the top spot as his official score comes in at 1 minute 05.28 seconds.
Yep.
So far, still in the lead, it was our first competitor, David Whisker. He's still the man to beat at 27.87.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that was a good time. Oh boy, we've got a whole suit jacket on here. I'm not sure if that's the proper attire for this competition, but
maybe a little restrictive.
Yeah, I would think so. Take off your lanyard, take off your jacket. But I'll tell you what, it seems like he's doing a good job with it. So I mean, he's definitely faster than some of the other competitors we've seen. So
I believe this is Paul M's only event. Paul M is who you see on your screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just wanted to give it a shot and see how he does.
Box is stuck together. I mean, he's still doing pretty good. And he's got a little too much strength in there too. You see how he crushed the corner of that box a little bit?
Yes.
Good, very good.
He's smiling. I think he knows he's not going to win this. He just wants to see how he stacks up.
He's having fun. He looks like he's having fun with it. I'll tell you what, they should have a whole. Oh man, he hit on that one. Oh my Lord.
There's no recovery from that.
That's right. You just got to sort of tuck it in and fake it here. But like I said, you got to go to that speed right before you mess up the box. But
you take a look at his hands. Take a look at his hands. It looks like nerves may be a big factor here.
This can be a nerve-wracking event.
Boy,
because it moves so quickly, it's very tough to calm yourself down and get through it quickly. Plus, you got to watch out for paper cuts too, Daniel. That's a big hazard in this one.
And you get a paper cut and get some of the citric acid from tomatoes in it.
Oh my gosh! I'm telling you,
a little burn.
I'm telling you, it's a dangerous business.
Let's see replay. Oh,
see right here. This is where it really caught him up here. He crushed that whole box. He went straight Hulk on that thing, and he crushed it. That'll mess you up every time.
Man. Well, that's probably not going to get him hired at a pizzeria anytime soon.
No, but I tell you, with all the accessories he had on, from the jacket to the watch to the rings to the lanyard, he's still doing a pretty good job with all that stuff on.
Well, I guess if you're not going to win, you should at least look stylish while you're doing it.
I guess
certainly accomplished that.
You got a good point there, right? At least you look good doing it.
And now we have Matt Hickey, and he's now at this point the only man who can beat David Whisker. Our first competitor is still on top in this event. Nobody has beat that time of 27.87 yet. Let's see if Matt Hickey can do it.
Yeah, he's doing a good job so far. He did have a little bit of a hiccup there in the very beginning, getting the boxes separated. But he's doing a good job.
Sounds like his friends are shouting coaching and encouragement from the audience. Maybe a crowd favorite here.
Got to get after it. He's got to get that last box. He's got to blow through it. He did a good. Oh, no.
That may be the difference.
Oh, no. Still a good job, but
Here you see the body language tells the whole story. Matt Hickey knows he can do better. Didn't quite get the result that he wanted. He does not have the time to be at the top spot. So,
no, unfortunately,
it is official. Your winner in this event is our first competitor, David Whisker.
Yep, I'll tell you what.
7.87.
The veteran came in and he showed him how to get it done. That was a really impressive time, and you got to have a flawless run. You got to have a flawless run to win this one. Any mistake's going to cost you precious seconds. All right.
We are back, and we are getting prepared for our main event of the day. This is the freestyle acrobatics. Now, Jamie, this competition has an extra prize over the other ones. The winner of this competition gets a grand prize trip to Italy to compete at the World Pizza Championship with the United States Pizza Team.
Absolutely, Daniel. This is the event of all events. This is obviously my favorite one. US Pizza Team, PMQ Magazine, they pay for your trip to go to the World Pizza Championships in Parma, Italy, to compete out there, which really there isn't a bigger deal when it comes to the pizza industry than that.
All right, we're going to go over to our sideline reporter, Chris Green, and see what he's got to say.
Thank you, Daniel. The buzz here at the Columbus Convention Center has been massive, bigger than we've ever seen in a really long time. Everyone has been getting up for this. A fever pitch, if you will, Daniel. Jamie, looking forward to find out who goes to the World Pizza Championship in Italy, and we'll find out here in mere moments who will be the reigning champion. I say of the world, but it kind of is of the world. So we're looking forward to seeing who will display the greatest 3 minutes and kind of put it together in a routine set to music. Of course, I know that you'll be judging on some major criteria, dexterity, kind of watch the synchronization of the music, things of that mentality. So everyone's very excited to be here covering such a great event. And I forget you get a spot on the US Pizza Team, so that's going to be great as well. So we're all very excited about that. It's going to be good.
All right.
I'm excited, but everybody's excited. So,
you see
Daniel,
the competitors in the
back
back?
to you.
Thank you, Chris. You see the competitors in the back. They're getting ready. They're prepping their acrobatic dough. Now, Jamie, they have a specially formulated dough. They wouldn't necessarily want to make a pizza with this dough, would they?
No, the acrobatic dough, well, really just like all the doughs you've seen here today, are made specially for the type of competition that they're doing. So the acrobatic dough is actually a higher salt, lower water content. It makes for a stronger dough, tighter dough. Essentially, it helps it last a little bit longer. It's not cheating. What it is it's just a dough designed to last a little bit longer. All these guys can do this with regular dough. So here we go. Here's the rules. They use 5 16-ounce dough balls for the 3-minute acrobatic routine. It's set to music. And like we said, the first place earns a spot to go to Italy. Contestants are given the scores panel of some judges here. There's 5 different categories worth 20 points each. The different categories are difficulty, dexterity, handwork, technique, and synchronization.
Now, we look for power moves and combos and entertainment value. How important is that entertainment value?
I'll tell you what, Daniel, that's I think, in my opinion, that's what put me over the top to win the World Championship in Italy was my entertainment value. I always competed against much younger, dare I say, more agile competitors. But I think the difference that made it was that I would play to the judges, I would play to the crowd, and you would really bring people into your routine. And that is, for me, that's what it's all about, because quite frankly, a lot of the crowd and even sometimes the judges, although the judges today are very well experienced, they may not know what it takes to do certain tricks or what exactly that difficulty is, but what they do know is that they enjoy watching you and they had a good time with your routine, and to me that's probably the most important thing.
Well, we see Pat Miller is getting ready to compete here. Now, you have breathed that rarefied air at the World Pizza Championship. It's a big venue.
Huge.
A lot of cameras, a lot of MCs saying a lot of things in Italian that you don't necessarily understand if you don't speak the language.
That's true.
Is that a big distraction when you get there?
Oh my gosh, I can tell you, I competed in Italy 7 or 8 times, something like that. It doesn't get any more nerve-wracking. There is cameras everywhere. There's the entire world is looking at you and seeing what you can do. So it definitely weighs on your nerves. There's no doubt about it, Daniel.
Now, this event is a little different than the other events in that there is not an official clock time or that counts up or down. There isn't an official measurement. This is an objective event judged by a panel of 5 judges, which are seated to our right.
Correct. This is more about it being a routine. You'll see it's going to be set to music. Typically, they like to keep it right around 3 minutes. But it's done to a song, so it's kind of like the song goes, when the song ends, that's when the routine's over. But
you see our judges there; they are looking on.
These are some very experienced judges. You got Ryan LaRose there. He looks like he's lost in thought here, but he knows what he's talking about. If you've ever gone onto YouTube or seen any of his stuff, you will know that he is a master of freestyle acrobatics. To his left, you've got Michael Casanova, also really good. I suggest if you are interested in this, you need to check these guys out online. They are beasts. Here comes Pat Miller. You guys better hold on to your hats. This is going to be a great routine. I guarantee it. He puts on a heck of a show. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see this, Daniel. He's giving a shout out to everybody that's come and done acrobatics before him. That's a really nice touch. I like it.
It's got a poetic monologue to begin with. I haven't seen that before. Let's see if the judges like it.
All right, look at him. Yeah, he's got that's his first dough here. He's going to go back to the table. He's going to grab another dough. Oh, he's going to keep working that one. You see how big this is, Daniel? This is really a sign of a great acrobat, somebody who can keep going with a dough that size. Watch this handwork. He's got great handwork under the leg. Nice little shoulder roll there.
He's got an interesting music choice that flip-flops back and forth between a remix and some traditional music.
He is, I think it's an homage to some routines from the past. That's really a cool touch. Here he's got the 2 doughs you see.
Are we seeing a greatest hits performance right now?
I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing greatest hits for everybody. There's a double shoulder roll. That's one of the key. There it is. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Here it is on the floor. We're going to see some under the leg action.
Floor work. Yep. 2 doughs on the ground. That's a classic. That's not easy to do.
Sky high.
Sky high. 2 dough up, down, sky high. Absolutely beautiful. Here he's got a big dough. It's going to be a flower. I can already see it. If he nails this, it's going to be a nice flower. Oh, it looks like his dough's a little too soft for it. He's got to recover here. There he goes. Oh, he went for the ringer. Beautiful. He's got 3 doughs. Let's see if he pulls this thing off. This is always going to be a hard one. Here he goes. 3 doughs. 3 doughs, people.
That is very difficult.
And that's not just juggling the dough. He's actually spinning all 3 doughs at the same time. That's real tough. 2 dough release tricks. Very nice.
Judges love these combos.
Boom. Beautiful. Here he comes over right by us, giving us a little show. It's always nice to go by the judges too and give them a little show right up front. I used to always love to do that. Boom, that's nice. On the knee, up and over the shoulder. Fantastic. He had a little flub right there, nothing bad though. There he goes, up under the leg to the sky high. That's beautiful.
Good clean routine, no major drops.
Nope.
Thrown to the crowd.
Absolutely, the crowd loves that. They get to play with the dough while you can perform, so it's nice. There he goes. Great job. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see what his score comes in at. That was nice. Nice showing. Keep in mind, Pat Miller, I think, hasn't competed, from what I heard, for 6 years, something like that. So for him to come out here and put on this great show, that's fantastic for everybody.
Let's see some replays here. Oh, a little slow-mo.
He wants to still keep spinning. I know I used to always do that too. You just grab the dough and keep on spinning and wait for those judges to tell you what your score is.
Well, judges are making their tabulations, of which you are right.
There's Lenny Rago in the back trying to get some camera time, cleaning up a little bit. You guys should check him out up there. Panino's up in Chicago.
Oh, we're seeing a little replay of the box there. All right. That was a great routine from Pat Miller. I haven't seen him in a number of years. He went away from competition for a while. It's great to see him back. Wasn't sure what to expect, but we got a show.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of his routines in the past have just been off the charts. I know he's competed in Italy several different times at the World Championships, as well as in Las Vegas and many US Pizza Team competitions around the country. He's been amazing. Oh, here's Tara. She's getting set up.
We go from an older veteran performer to now one of these younger competitors that I personally have never seen before. You've seen some of her clips on YouTube.
I have seen some of her stuff online, social media. She's really getting big into the game, and I'm excited to see this routine. I hope she puts on a great show. I love to see these female athletes out here competing in the acrobatics. There's just not enough of them out here. I wish there was more, and maybe she'll be the one that brings them to the forefront. Because
and here we go.
Lord knows they're great in pizzerias. Some of my best employees I've ever had working for me have been females, and they've got a lot of skills. And I'd love to see them out here on the floor more competing. There's been some real greats in the past, I'll tell you that. Okay, here we go.
Technical difficulty with the music. She's ready to go.
Didn't seem to affect.
Off.
She's got a nice whip technique. See that nice and smooth whip technique? See that spin? Beautiful spinning. Little flower for show. Fantastic. She's going to go right in front of the judges, and she's going to work the judges. That's exactly how you do it. Nice over the shoulder. She's doing a great job here. Getting some air on that. Oh, she just missed the catch through the leg. She's doing she's putting on a great routine. Really smooth, really good at handling that dough.
Good transitions.
Absolutely.
Oh, excellent spinning dough work there.
Out to the crowd. That's perfect with a smile. That's the key to this, Daniel, is you got to make sure you're smiling. Even if you drop it or even if you mess up, as long as you're smiling and having a good time, they may not. Oh, man, the backward somersault.
Just barely missed the catch.
That was a nice little move there. I don't think I've seen that one before.
See a forward somersault? Never.
Oh, the cartwheel. That's a new one, too. Oh, she missed the catch. That's unfortunate. That was cool, though. I like that. I might have to steal that for the senior division next year, Daniel.
And to your point on how difficult a three-dough toss is, she had to drop there with just two.
Nice. She's got a good two-dough technique. Going to the ground. Always extra points for that. She's smiling all the time. That's what it's all about.
You see the judges nodding. They like what they see.
Yep. Wow. Groundwork through the leg. That's great. Right there, groundwork. That's classic freestyle pizza acrobatics through the legs on the back. Absolutely classic. And we got two through the legs. That is not easy, Daniel.
Fantastic.
Really putting on a great routine, great show. Look at this. Now obviously the judges are going to count off a little bit for dropping. That's obviously one of the biggest things you want to try to avoid. But you know what? This has been a really good routine that she's putting on here. She's hit some real classic moves as well as some new moves of her own. That's nice.
Closing strong.
That's very nice. Foot catch in the back. Fantastic. Great job, Tara. Fantastic.
A well-deserved round of applause rings out from the crowd behind us. They are loving what they are seeing.
Absolutely. That was fantastic. That was really a good routine. Looked like she had fun with it. You can see some replays here over the shoulders here.
All right, next up we'll be welcoming Damien Burke.
Seemed like she really hit her stride in 2 points, doing the groundwork and then closing strong.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, so often in these competitions, people forget about the classic moves like doing the groundwork through the legs. You know, people love it. People love that type of showmanship. You know, people love to see that.
The wheel into a backwards roll there.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know if I want to try that. I might hurt myself doing that one, but that looked cool when she did it for sure.
High degree of difficulty on that trick. There's a cartwheel.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, and unfortunately she missed the catch there, but that was a cool little trick there. That was cool. Here's that groundwork we were talking about, Daniel. That's definitely scores big points because, you know what, quite frankly, it's just not done as much as it should be anymore. A lot of people forget about their groundwork.
Well, I like that she threw in the rotation there. I don't really think I've seen someone rotate while doing the groundwork.
Yep, no, I've seen that before. That is a little change to it. Some people like to throw that in there also. But yeah, it just adds a little something extra.
All right, now we got a live look at Damien Burkheimer, our third competitor in this freestyle acrobatics.
He's already in a good mood. That's a great sign. He's got a whole lot of doughs ready here, so we might get a big show here. How many doughs we have set there?
Round of applause for Damien Burkheimer.
12 or 14 doughs it looks like. Let's see what he's got. The music has started.
A bit of a slower jam on his music, always hamming up to the camera.
Oh, there you go.
I have to say I would do that myself.
That's right. Yeah, you got to. Got to work it. The world awaits. The world's watching.
He looks very relaxed here.
Very nice cross shoulder. Switching hands very smoothly.
That is a large dough there. That's not easy.
Like I was saying earlier, you know, the ones that can really work the dough as it gets bigger, those are the people that you know their pizza.
Oh, look at that.
Because the bigger it gets, the harder it is. There's no doubt about it. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. My gosh.
At this point, it's like working a lasso at a rodeo.
Yeah, you see how he's actually using the momentum of the dough. Whoa, it exploded on him.
Good.
Yeah.
He's smiling. He's having a great time.
Yeah, it looks to me like he's having fun. I'm having fun watching him. That's what's important. There's a wheel right over the shoulder. Fantastic. Boom, big, beautiful over-the-shoulder roll. I mean, that was the biggest dough I think I've ever seen anybody roll over the shoulder. That was fantastic.
He throws it away like he doesn't even have a care in the world.
Sure doesn't. He's got a lot more doughs to go through, so he's not worried. We got 2 doughs.
Some double dough work here.
Yep, he's doing double whip. He's got a dominant grip, and he's got a reverse dominant grip on his other hand. Throws him away to the crowd. I think he's just going bigger is better here on this.
That seems to be his MO.
Wow. Through the legs with a big dough like that.
Not easy.
Not easy at all. Going for the flour. There he goes. Look at that. That's nice. Big, big slaps. Over the shoulder. Look at the size of that thing. It's bigger than he is. Right over his shoulder. Fantastic. Fantastic looking. Oh, it looks like he might be wearing out a little bit. I think he's already competed in every competition so far, hasn't he?
I believe so.
That's probably starting to take its toll on him. There he goes. Nice. A reverse over the shoulder over and over again. I call that the Giorgio Giove because that's the guy who made it popular for me. And he used to do it beautifully. Or maybe he still does, if you're out there, Giorgio. Very nice technique.
All right, Damien Burkheimer.
There you go. Great job, Damien. Good job.
Damien, exit through the front. Speak to Chris Green, please.
Well, if fatigue is a factor, Damian Berkheimer emptying out the gas tank on that performance, leaving it all on the floor.
Absolutely, that's what you got to do. I mean, you come all this way, you better make sure that you're giving it your all. There's no sense in coming if you're not going to, right? And he sure did. He sure went out there and did, man. That was great.
I watched him perform last year and was impressed by he really went for size and volume, and that seems to be, he's made that his style. He's repeated with that again this year, going for size.
Look at that explosion. That was cool. I liked that. That was
and
neat.
He shrugs it off.
There's just two dough. You see it's the same direction here. It's a dominant and non-dominant direction so that he's able to transfer back and forth between hands.
He is a numerous time champion of athletic trials.
Up next we got Scott Volpe. This guy's going to be a beast. If you're not paying attention, you better start paying attention now. This guy is a up and coming guy. He's won several world championships already. He's known for his b-boy style pizza spinning. Super athletic. This is going to be a good show, Daniel.
Yes, if you saw that cartwheel from Tara earlier, I believe you're going to see at least one or two in this routine.
I imagine he's going to throw a handstand or two in there. He's an athletic guy. He's a very athletic guy. Out of Tucson, Arizona, which is my old hometown. There's something in the water out there because I think there's 4 or 5 world champions out of Tucson, Arizona.
He's coming off a silver medal win at the World Championship in Parma, Italy last year with the US Pizza Team.
That's right.
Very exciting moment for him.
He also won in Las Vegas this last year. He's I'm telling you, he's top tier. There's no doubt about it. He looks confident. He looks like he's ready to go.
You mentioned some of that b-boy style. It seems like both he and fellow world champion Tu Sheng Huang have innovated that b-boy style and incorporated a lot of that breakdancing into their routines.
Yeah, it really adds a new flair to it. It's a lot of fun to the freestyle acrobatics. People really seem to enjoy it, and man, I'll tell you, it makes it a lot more of an athletic type event. So.
Sorting out a couple of technical issues with the replay of the music.
Sometimes I can get you.
Oh, it's not bothering him a bit.
No,
Look at that face.
Looks like he's still having fun with it.
He could do this to no music. He could probably beatbox with his mouth.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure there's times where he doesn't have music and he spins anyway. I know when I was competing, I used to spin everything I get my hands on.
All right, let's take a look at our leaderboard. We've got some scores in. So right now, Pat Miller came in with a 211.75. Tara Haddon took a 200 even, and Damian Berkheimer has 167. So 211.75 is the score.
Daniel. Look at the speed and the technique. A double-handed whip. Beautiful. Nice. That's a forward roll whip. He's got it behind the back. Absolutely beautiful. Under the leg. Look at the technique here. Right over the shoulder. Nice. See the smile on his face. He's having a good time. Here comes some of that b-boy style we're talking about. Up over the shoulder. Oh, he missed the catch.
Quite get the grab.
That's all right. He's still doing awesome. Look at that. Oh, man.
That is not easy.
Not easy. I think I'd pull something if I tried that one. Up under the legs, over the shoulder. Fantastic technique there. Also old school Marky Mark here.
This man makes it look easy.
He sure
absolutely
does.
Effortless.
And none of this is easy, I promise you that. Here he goes with the two doughs. Very beautiful, crossing them over. Fantastic, under the leg and over the shoulder, same time. Beautiful, double through the leg. Beautiful over the shoulder. Boom, double shoulder roll, fantastic. Nailed it perfect. Beautiful. He came to play today. Reverse double shoulder roll. Missed the catch, unfortunately, but I don't even know if the judges noticed that.
Picks up 2 more doughs. Keeps picking up where he left off. Now he's going to do some over the head.
Here's the classic. This is the American style double dough. Now he's down all the way through the leg with the transition.
Amazing.
Perfect under the back. That's not easy. That's a really good trick. Really nice. Oh, I don't even know what to call that one, but that's sick.
Maybe we'll have to make up a name for it.
I guess so. We're going to have to come up with something.
Maybe the Volpe.
Yep. Beautiful.
Oh, and catch off the foot.
Around the back. Fantastic.
Looks like he doesn't have a care in the world.
He really doesn't. It looks like he's having fun. That's what's important. Nice. Throw a little bit more of that B-boy in there. Boom. Very nice. Wow. Oh, ouch. That looks like that hurts. There you go, right in the mouth.
Wow. Transition to the hand.
Look at that one-handed hand. Oh, my gosh.
Goodness.
Amazing. Did I say athletic? Oh, that's beautiful. Fantastic. Very nice.
Very technical.
I mean, very technical. I think there was a minor drop at the beginning. That was a great job, Scott. Here we go. Boom. Boom. Big finisher. Great job, Scott Volpe. Just nailed it.
Throwing a little flare at the end just for that.
Yep, absolutely. Why not?
Oh my, he's on fire.
I think he's jumped into the first place spot with that one. That was a great routine.
You see on the replay, wow.
Yep, you can see that, the double-handed front wheel. Look at that. Oh, holy smokes, that was nice.
All right, and we are standing by with our sideline reporter. He has Scott Volpe currently. We're going to throw to him in just a second as you see some highlights play on the screen now. Just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Really a great show.
All right, let's go over to Chris Green with Scott Volpe.
Scott, solid performance. How did you feel about your performance out there? I felt pretty good. You know, there's always got to come out and do the best you can and hope for the best. I felt really good about it. Really feeling the energy out there. How was your day? It was a little on the softer side, but I made it work. I feel like all the tricks came out smooth and stayed in a pretty good circle, so I feel good about it. You're doing a lot more than pizza spinning out there, aren't you? Yeah, you have a little dance play. You got to have your own style. So, great job, Scott. Appreciate it. Daniel, back to you.
I tell you what, that Scott Volpe has some guts. He went in his early 20s, not speaking much of the language at all, went to Naples, Italy to learn the skill of pizza making, and I'll continue that story later, because right now we got Matt Hickey.
Let's see what Matt Hickey's bringing to the table. He's got a good whip, good solid spin there, nice shoulder roll. He's got good control of the dough. Very nice, very nice.
This t-shirt proudly proclaiming him a pizza geek, and who can blame him?
I think this room is full of pizza geeks right now. That was a nice little bicycle to the sky high. Yep, he's doing a great job. Oh, and over with the catch. He got the catch on that one. That was beautiful. He needs to come over towards the judges and work the judges a little more. He needs to get right in the face of the judges and show them what he's got. You know, he's got the talent, he's got the tricks. He needs to come over here and show them off. Here he comes. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Boom, that was beautiful. The nice thing about having all these doors on the table, you can just come right back to it.
Oh, nice.
Right back to it, start over. Very nice, behind the back. Oh, there was a little drop, nothing major. You gotta just recover from that. You can't let that affect you. It's strong.
He's getting some encouragement from the crowd. They're encouraging him to finish strong. It looks like he's doing just that.
Yep. Right on the foot, up and over. Looks like it took the wind out of him a little bit. Here he goes, he's over right in the judges' faces. He's got to get right in there and show him why he's here.
That's what we see on the screen is from Scott Volpe, who is in the lead with a 22:25.5. That is a number to beat.
That's going to be a tough one to beat, Daniel. Scott really came out and put on a really great performance. So, I'm not sure who's going to be able to come out and grab that title from Scott today, but we'll see what these guys bring. It's going to be a tough one to beat. Scott's a great champion.
this man, Matt Hickey, double shooter.
Listen, you know, everything takes a little bit of practice. He's got the technique and skill. You can see it right in front of you. He's comfortable with the dough. He obviously knows plenty of tricks.
Right now.
Yep. There you go, getting some air on that. Everybody loves to see it when it gets tossed as high as possible.
He was closing with some attitude.
There you go. Flip a little flower around. Beautiful. Hit the sign, why not, man? Storm off stage. Make some impact. That was a good routine.
That was a good routine.
Mm-hmm. I think he's got some real potential.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was a cool one. I like that one.
I like that one a lot. See a little head movement there, little table work.
Look at Lenny Rago in the back. He looks like the muscle. Not sure. I think he's a security or something out there. I'm not sure, just in case the dough starts acting up or something. He puts him in his place. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Lenny if they hired him on as security.
All right. We're going to go over to our sideline reporter, Chris Green. He has Matt Hickey with him now. Take it away, Chris.
Matt, quite the turnaround from the largest dough stretch. How did you feel out there in the freestyle acrobatics today?
It took me a little bit to warm up at first, a little tension with ESPN being here and stuff, but thank you. Oh man, fan club over there, it's awesome. But no, I felt good about it. It was all right. I just need to work on my tricks, kind of like get the ones I know down pat, and the ones I've been experimenting with, I just got to tighten up.
You look like you were having fun out there.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what I try to do, is just have fun, because it's just pizza.
Cool. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, bro.
Back to you.
Okay. Now we got our next competitor, Nate Wilson. He will be the final one of today. So if somebody's going to beat Scott's score, it will have to be him.
Nate Wilson is definitely the one that has the potential to do it. He, I can tell you, has been practicing his butt off. And you can see those fabulous pants I was talking about earlier, obviously putting him in the spirit to do it. But I'm expecting to see some real good tricks out of him, some innovative stuff, because I've seen him online, and he's really been putting the work in. So I'm expecting to see a real good show here.
If you're a judge, do you give him bonus points for those pants?
I think so. Anybody that wants to get dressed up, and especially with that kind of spirit, I'd give him a couple extra points just for those pants. I always tell people, dress up, look nice. I always had the button-up shirt and the tie. I didn't have the guts to wear pants like that, but anything you can do to impress the judges. Great technique, really smooth. I like the song.
Nice.
Beautiful. Turn to the crowd right away. He's right on point. His synchronization is great. Playing to the music. He's fast too. Look how lightning fast he is. Almost dropped it, but he recovered. Beautiful. Nice shoulder roll. Get rid of that one. The key here is when you do pop a hole in or something, get rid of it and move on like it never happened. Here's some great groundwork. Oh man, that was nice. Threw it down, caught it with his feet, threw it back up. That was kind of a version of what was called the prayer. Two through the legs. Beautiful. You'll notice he dropped one of them, but you didn't even see it because he hit such a great catch behind his back. That was really nice. Song's kind of mellowing out. You can see him kind of going back, and the whole mood just kind of mellows out for a second.
Throwing a little dynamics into the performance.
Absolutely. You got to bring the emotions with you. Obviously, music does that to people, and you can see it's starting to build up. We're expecting some big tricks here. Nice. Got a hole in that one. know what that was. What was that?
It was a standing sidekick.
Something came shooting off his foot. That was cool. Bruce Lee would be proud. I'm going to have to ask him how to do that one. Oh,
Let's recover that.
he almost hit Dave Summers with the dough. That's never a good idea, Daniel. You don't want to hit the judges with the dough. They don't appreciate that. Beautiful, kneeling sky high, reverse. Way out in the crowd, beautiful. Great routine. That was a lot of fun. Good job, Dave.
Fantastic performance by all competitors.
Matt Hickey's score was 174.5. You saw on your screen there. Not enough to best Scott Volpe. We are still awaiting Nate Wilson's score. It will be tabulated. We'll see who comes out on top. In the replays there. Oh, he's playing to the crowd in the replay, deciding which dough to pick up.
Absolutely, I think he did a really good job here. He really nailed some good routines. It was really synchronized with the music, and I think it was really fantastic. Again, I like the pants. Even though we're making fun of them, that really does add a little bit to the routine. Adds that sense of fun. You saw that cool trick right there. He grabbed it with his feet. He had some innovative tricks, and I think he did a really wonderful job with this.
Okay, we got Chris Green standing by with.
Nate, solid performance, man. I guess we get the birthday to see what everyone else is doing. I was probably give me a nudge, but being everyone else did just as well as I did. Crab was really getting into. I feel like you kind of pioneered some tricks out there. I saw many that you did with your heel. There's a little bit of something I've been working on. That but I just thought I should try to pair them. It's the first time there. I was really set. The frame was a nice job out there. And how do you think you grew out there? I thought it'd be pretty good. I love when I used to get back to. Let me pull that out. Nice job. Thank you, James. Lady, back to you. So it's kind of late. All right, we are going to take this away to a commercial break.